Good morning, boys. It is the best day of the week. You're getting a double video. You get this morning video and, of course, later on at 8:35. And the reason I want to post this is because I assume we might have some more news, hopefully some good news, some bigger news later on in the day. Why? I don't know. I'm just hoping, and I'll tell you why later on in the show. Also, we got some details on the Jack Pyburn situation, the contract, what was proposed, what wasn't agreed on. We'll talk, give my thoughts and opinion, and some other names to keep an eye on. It's going to be a good one. Smash the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, baby. So as we all know, yesterday my heart was shattered into a billion pieces when Jack Pyburn entered into the transfer portal. Pretty cool thing. He followed me back yesterday. I was like, hey, Jack, a little too late. Okay, my heart's already shattered. And he actually messaged me, said a few things. I'm not going to share everything he said. Kind of, I'll get toward it towards the end. It was a private conversation, but some of the things that was reported on, he did say. So I'll kind of confirm what he said because I feel like it's kind of his voice too, right? There's always multiple sides to these things, and I mean, kid play his heart out. You know what I'm saying? So I got me some love. But let's talk about the first order of business again. Keyshawn Silver visited yesterday, got there yesterday about late on in the evening Tuesday. We'll be there for today. I don't know. Again, has Michigan lined up right now? If you look at On3, they kind of have their transfer portal, how they feel, their ratings. It's not always 100%, but right now Florida is still leading the way on their crystal ball-esque type in the portal over Michigan and Miami. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Look, for me, you can't let this one go. We learned too many times last year. I feel like everybody that left rarely came back. I think Badger was the only one that came back, and a lot of it was due to the fact that he had the back injury. And I think Florida was willing to work with it. We let Joey Slackman go. He came back due to production. I think we know why he was able to come back. This one here, you can't let him go. And you look at his stats at Kentucky, very similar, what Cam Jackson was at Memphis. Cam had 17 tackles, 1 sack. Keyshawn has 14 tackles, 1 sack. So under that Chapman era, alongside Banks, Jamari Lyons, Dontre Robinson, Michael Bork, I mean, come on with it. I mean, that D-line will look nasty alongside Jack. No, I'm just kidding. But look, I think Billy's got to close this one. So I'm hoping tonight we are able to close with some good news on that one. So we'll see. Who knows? Another one to keep eyes on, Nick Anderson, 6'4" wide receiver from Oklahoma. Right now, it seems to be an A&M and Florida race. They're the two schools that have made some serious inquiries. Obviously, we talked about on, I think it was Monday's show, the two wide receivers, one from Miami, the other one from Eastern Carolina, both 6'4". I mean, clearly the tree trunks are a priority because we've got plenty of speed. The 5'11" to 6 foot guys with just blazing speed, locked in, dialed in. It's the tree trunks we've been missing, right? The towers. And so that seems to be Florida's main thing. You also wonder, right? Talking to the boys in the chat, earlier last night about, hey, could this be an OC move, right? Like, hey, we're going to go after a certain OC. He likes this type of wide receivers as well. I don't know. I'm just trying to put pieces together. Like I say, I read tea leaves. I'm just trying to put pieces together like the rest of us do. I think we all want to be insiders and know what's going on. But we learned from the recruiting year, ain't nobody got a clue what's going on. What sucks, too, is people were kind of murmuring about the Pyburn stuff, and that came true. Why the insiders going to be right about the bad news? Why can't we be right about the good news? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's besides the point. So, Nick Anderson, no visit has been set up yet from my understanding. But again, there has been reports that there is a mutual interest there. There is conversations happening. So we'll see. Again, I think we've learned over the last 2 years, visits are very few and far between. Usually when they go to a school, it's to sign paperwork. It isn't to go hang out and see things. Also keep in mind, if Keyshawn does go on, Florida and Bailey have been very vocal about this, and we heard about it last year. I mean, when Kermani was coming in, I go, look, if they bring in Kermani, I got to believe that they did a full vetting process. And Napier said in the presser before this portal season started, goes, look, we bring everybody in. They sit down with guys. I believe Banks is hosting Keyshawn. Banks is going to be the leader of that D-line. How do they mesh? How is that conversation happening? Is he going to come in and be able to elevate and continue that same passion? Him and Jackson, 2 peas in a pod. And if you don't recall, there was a video of Cam getting into Banks' face back in the spring ball. Look how that came full circle. Accountability. We're going to push you. We're going to make you strong. You're going to hate yourself. That's because during game time, we're dialed in. So I'm hoping Banks is able to vet through that. I think growing, I think Cam, and we got to give Cam credit. I think Cam Jackson really embodied that Florida Gator mentality. He was able to carry that and transcend that leadership, and you want to be able to keep passing it on to the next guy. It's going to be a little harder with the portal, but do the best that they can. Again, will be a big again, of course, with Nick Anderson. So we're going to talk about now an offensive tackle to keep your eye out on, some tea leaves in regards to maybe a potential hire. I'll give you my thoughts on that. And then, of course, the Jack Pyburn situation. But before we do, of course, show is brought to you by Prize Picks. This is the winner that I had on Monday. You've already seen this winning ticket. To Thursday, maybe I'll put one together tonight for the Thursday night football matchup. My fingers are feeling hot. Okay? Fingers are feeling hot. It's a fantastic way. Look, you can play basketball, any sport. I kind of stick in my sweet spot, right? But basketball's hot right now. A lot of people are playing that, especially college basketball. That's a big one. So if you want to dive into that, do your player picks. This is a fantastic way to get it done. Download the app Prize Picks. Use the code Hightop. When you use that code, you play your first $5, you get $50 back, giving you free money. Okay, and like I always tell you, it's fantastic. You get your money back within 15 minutes. So if you are, playing games that are early on, lock it into the W. Play games later on in the night. There you go. I love being partnered with them. It's a fun way to be involved with the game. So again, be sure to check it out. Prize Picks. Use code Hightop. Prize Picks. Run your game. Now, you can see here, boys. I'm fighting for my life here. We got offensive tackle Howard Sampson. Is a 4-star now. I think he's like 6'6", I believe. 6'8", maybe. 6'8", 330. Just an absolute tower. Florida's got some interest here. You got to think they're looking into this again. That right side, right? I'm assuming Barber is coming back. I haven't heard anything, but if you think that, you gotta go fill that Crenshaw area, right? Devin Manuel, I believe he would be staying. Arkansas transfer from last year, he was a tackle. That's a good depth piece and possibly can maybe grow and to look to get to some more starting time. But this is a big one to keep an eye on. I would love this pickup again. That Brandon Crenshaw, Phil, big size, big body, is a 4-star in the portal. Is the 4th rated offensive tackle in the portal. This is where the money should be spent, right? The trenches is where it needs to get done. I know wide receivers, everyone gets all sexy and all that. If you sold me Shelton, you're not gonna get Nick Anderson, but you're gonna get Keyshawn Silver, this cat, and the 2 Miami and Ohio guy and the East Carolina guy. I say less. Just sign the check twice. Okay, so again, a lot of love coming from this kid coming out of North Carolina. We'll keep an eye on this one. No visits have been set up. It just seems to be a person of interest as of now. Now, let's talk about some tea leaves here in regards to possibly some coaching changes. You guys give your thoughts and opinions about this. I'm always watching. I'm always watching this account right here. Remember, we've been following this through the recruiting cycle. They be tweeting some eyeballs and some faces, and those faces turn into recruits. They know a little something before something happens. Okay, so I'm always watching. The original tweet from Bud Davis says, for those worried about the financial hit of keeping guys like Pyburn, keep in mind we're paying Hockey $750K and Armstrong 1.2. I mean, Armstrong didn't deserve the side swipe there. Hockey, love the guy, but I understand the shot. Okay. Tally Gator says different sources of money. Okay. I'm in the world of a coaching sense, right? 12/31. That doesn't give me player vibes, right? A kid hitting a portal doesn't have a date on it. Makes no sense. Game's 12/20. So to me, this is a coach move. Could be. That's what's implying to me. Coach or just a personnel move, right? I don't even know if it's coach because obviously, well, there's a coach and there's a personnel here. So I don't know. So New Year's Eve could be more than just fireworks outside. Could be fireworks inside. That's all that I'm saying. So maybe we have a countdown for 12/31 now. I don't know. Could be just another fugazi. I'm just saying, when this app tweets, it rarely misses. It rarely misses. That's all that I'm saying. All right, let's get into the Pyburn stuff. So this was reported from Zach Albaverdi on On3. So it wasn't like it was just some like hoo-ha. This is a full-blown article. Florida Gators at Gator season on Twitter. Great app, great graphic, or great account, great graphics as well. They kind of, here's the gist of it, right? What was being asked from Pyburn's camp. $45 per month guaranteed, so 550,000, 600,000, right? Basically what I was saying without even knowing when we talked about it yesterday. I said, hey, my thought process is that's probably around the 700,000 range, given what the Dylan Stewart was asked or reportedly getting, which was $1 million. So I'm thinking, okay, he was him, right? And Pyburn had a fantastic season, not of that season, but a great season. So I was thinking between that 6 and 7 mark, and we're probably offering him because when I look at the NIL evaluation on 3 for Keyshawn Silver, it's 200 to 300,000, and that's a former 5-star defensive lineman. You see what I'm saying? Now, edge players may have some more value. I don't know. And again, these NIL evaluations are just kind of what they feel. But it's a good sense of what the player's value is. That's why I enjoy looking at it, just to kind of help you wrap your head around what these players are asking. These guys like Dane Keene and Eric Singleton, they have their NIL value at $682,000. Now, I know what you're going to say. That's the NIL value that they're saying they can receive from sponsorships and what have you. I get it, but I'm telling you, there's a little bit of truth to that. That's probably what the market value is for them, right? The money thing, I always said I wasn't too, I understand him asking. I think for me, where I kind of, if this part of it is 100% accurate, guaranteed starting position outside linebacker, that's tough. That's tough for me. I think there's only one player on the team that can say, hey, I'm playing next year. Nobody's taking my spot, is DJ Lagway. Like, imagine if I assume Trevor Etienne probably was asking for the same thing next year. Hey, I want to be guaranteed running back 1. It's like, I can't do that. You got to beat out Montrell Johnson. And I get that. I wouldn't want to guarantee anybody anything. Personally, guaranteed to play on third downs. And again, I understand where he's coming from. And this is kind of what he messaged me. He said, hey, it's my contract year. I want the most opportunities to go to the league. And I need everything that I can get there. And I 100% respect that. Don't disagree with that at all. It's a tough thing to guarantee somebody. In the world of sales, like myself, right? When we're selling people at work, people want to guarantee. And I'm like, I can't guarantee you because I don't know what the future holds. And I would be doing you and myself a disservice if I guaranteed you anything. Now I'm gonna do my damn best to sell you the dream as best as possible, but I'm not gonna lie to you. And I believe that Napier and company carry themselves the exact same way. I think a lot of schools don't do that. And I think that's why you see a lot of hopping around. People think that it's money chasing, and I think that's a factor of it, but seeing the details of this lead me to believe that a lot of these kids probably are asking for money, but then they're also asking for certain things of like, hey, I want to play. I want to do these things. I want to be able to get to the league. Can you promise these things? And coach is like, yeah, no problem. It's hard to hold somebody to that when the season's here. In the middle of the game, what is his agent going to run down and say, hey, you're supposed to play him 6 times this game? Come on. That's not going to work. Right? So that's a tough one. More snaps on the rotation. Again, just asking for these things. I think it's like, look, if you're getting beat out and I'm just playing you more, that's tough. Now, again, I don't know if maybe it's like, hey, but if I suck, is there caveats? But I want to guaranteed coming into this to be here. That's tough, man. That's tough when you had 3 other guys in Sapp, Searcy, and Gums that had more sacks than you. PFF grade, it's kind of pretty close. You can look at that how you want. Again, I think what Pyburn brought to the team wasn't something you can measure by a statistic either. So, again, the money thing, I don't care about that. I think you should ask for what you believe that you're worth. Asking for guaranteed time, that's tough for me. You got to go get it. You got to go earn it. I think, hey, can you give me a feeling? And they probably couldn't. And I think that's where, and that's where even Pyburn kind of said, he's like, look, they couldn't really give me a clear expectation of what I would be doing, and it's a big year for me, and that I can respect. When the room is as deep and as thick as it is, and you're kind of looking, hey, like Justice Boone was supposed to be the guy this year, and he got shuffled to the back, right? And so you kind of lose a year, and he's not in the place to lose a year. So some people are getting frustrated, but that to me is the big picture. We're saying, hey, you got to focus on the big picture. That is focusing on the big picture. Needs as many snaps and play times as he can, and fortunately, we are in a place where we've got a lot of talent there, and you can't guarantee that, which is a good place for Florida. Sucks in the grand scheme of things because you would love to have all these guys, but that's where the business part comes into play, right? That's where it is. So, and some people are saying, hey, it sucks for this is coming out. Like a lot of these numbers are starting to come out publicly, right? You see with the Dylan Stewart and this, like the money part of it. And they're like, why are we putting this out there? Well, there's two things to that, right? One, I mean, the NFL guys, everybody else in the pro, their information's out there. Soto just got $765 million to go play to not do anything in New York for the next 15 years, right? Like that's always been a known thing. Also, these agents want that information to get out so they can use that as an advantage for the next guy. So we're saying, hey, protect the kids. The people that they're hiring to do these for them are the ones that want this to get out because it's better for business. It's better for negotiating. It builds the brand. It builds the aura. So it's not reporting. It's not the sites reporting it. It's the people negotiating it. I'm sure the schools don't want it to get out because then they're like, that's why they got to put a cap on it. Because if not, this thing is gonna keep going. Money's endless. Money's endless. Also, too, people are like, just pay the kid. Just pay the kid. Eventually, guys, you can't just pay everybody. Then you're 40 million in. And you're like, we better go win a natty. And if you don't win one, then it's like, okay, well, I'm 40 million out. I'm not paying anymore. So you gotta. It ebbs and flows. It's ebbs and flows. The portal give it, the portal take it. That's gonna be the motto for the next couple of weeks, boys and girls. We'll see. We'll try to get some people on tomorrow or later tonight. Maybe to give us some more insight, some more intel on anybody else. Look, they're doing their best from what I'm hearing and seeing to keep everybody. Could there be more? There's always could be more. There's always could be more. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, boys and girls. We'll see y'all later tonight, 8:35. Peace and love.